Hey, it's Soleil, and this is episode 78 of the Orange Pill Investor. I am super psyched about my 5K small account challenge. It's finally on the right side of 5,000 again. So Bitcoin kind of reversed course. So it's doing good, and the mining stocks are up. So got some work to do. Let's hurry the hell up. I barely have time to get this done. So let's close this CLSK for $1. Boom. Mara, close it for $2. Boom. And this is I do this slow, I think I talk a lot of shit during the videos, but when I say I only spend 30 minutes a week to make 50% returns for the year, and I'm really trying to under exaggerate because it's way more than 52% returns, but I like to just, aim low and then I'll surpass it. So, all right, so let's sell CLSK option for next week. I'm going to bake about 10%, I think. So $2 on top of 2160, so 2350. God, that's still a little too greedy. That would be like 5% for the week. You know what? Fine. Let's do it. Actually, no, let's go 24. Boom. This might, if this doesn't immediately fill, hell yes. All right, next. MicroStrategy, RIOT. Trade RIOT options. This is the one that I picked up yesterday. And wait, refresh. Does it still think I have this call for today? All right. All right. This is too greedy on premium here. So if we want to bake 10% into here, that's going to be about $1.20. So that brings me up to 13.14. We can get 1% premium there. I'm going to be a little greedier than that for the premium. And let's see if we get a fill. Done. And I am not going to have time to do the spreadsheet, but that's probably boring as hell anyway, unless you've just never seen it before. And let's sell Hut. Hut actually did very well. I am so glad I took off this covered call. So I don't know if it's superstition, but just in case a stock gaps up over earnings, I don't like to carry a covered call. And I think that removes some of the criticisms when people say, oh, you're picking up pennies in front of steamrollers. I think a lot of times when stocks gap up, it's because of earnings. So if you just don't carry a covered call for that one day a quarter, 4 days a year, you can still have covered calls on your shit for 361 days a year. And you're going to sacrifice what, like 10 cents of theta? And I got what, 20%, 20% on this. So anyway, let's sell a covered call. Now the only thing about after earnings though, sometimes premium collapses, but this is still really good, probably because of the sharp move up. So let's give another $1 of call away value here, and let's sell the 12. Fill, no whammies, boom. Everybody wants to fill today. So what did shit. This one, I got what, 85.50, $1.30, $1.50, and 80, like 2 something. So made about $200. So let's buy some MicroStrategy with that. So let's buy it in dollars, and let's take the 250-ish bucks and get some more MicroStrategy. Cha-ching. to me, MicroStrategy, since it's leverage, it's almost like a long option, except it doesn't have theta, so it's not decaying, and it has no expiration date. So it's just a long call option that never expires. MicroStrategy is, Jesus Christ, I almost have a half a share. Once I get up to a share of this, I may sell part of it to get another 100 shares of Hut. We'll see. But let's see, I got 1, 2, 3 covered calls. I got CLSK, RIOT, and Mara, and Hut. What didn't I do? Oh, I didn't do Mara. Okay. Why didn't anybody tell me? All right, 10% on this would get us $2. 24.50. Let's sell that bad boy. Come on. I had such good luck getting quick fill. Got to get this hell over with. Smash the bid. All right, cool. Now I'm good. I was about to screw the pooch on that one. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 covered calls for my 4 stocks that I own 100 shares in. I took the premium. I guess I could do another $50 of MicroStrategy. That'll get me right over half a share. Let's do it. So buying dollars, another what? I think I got another $50. Boom. How much MicroStrategy got? Boom. I got half of a share of MicroStrategy. So I am super happy about this. When I had, you know, what the hell's happening here? Yeah, so I had the $5,000 or whatever that I put in here. I don't know, this isn't working out exactly. I don't know what the hell that's a. Yeah, here it is. I had the $5,000. Boom. It didn't drop to 2. It dropped to 4. Okay, Robinhood. I don't know. They're fucking around. I don't know what's hell going on here. But this is how it's done. This is how I do it. Not financial advice, legal disclaimers, all that bullshizzle. And I sell covered calls. I collect the premium. Boom. Take that premium, reinvest it right back into another asset. Generally, I would buy the cheapest shares that I'm working with so that I can get to 100 faster, because that is my goal. I want to get to another 100 shares as fast as possible. I always want another 100 shares, another 100 shares, another 100 shares. And this is the part that gets me about these buy and hold shenanigans. They want to work their 9-to-5 job and just keep slogging that money in here. I'm never going to put another dime of my own money in this 5K account. I'm generating money with money. You can do that with dividends too, but the dividends are trash. If I put 5K in here and just waited for dividends to hit, there's no way I'd be getting this kind of return. So it makes me laugh when they sell, you know, picking up pennies in front of a steamroller, because if I pick up a ton of frickin' pennies, it doesn't matter, you know, good luck trying to run me over the steamroller. I really don't give a shit. So the other thing that I posted about today was, this could get me in trouble with my fellow Bitcoiners, but I was basically kind of just ranting about, when is Bitcoin going to improve my life? When am I allowed to see the benefits? Because if I'm a maximalist, so I kind of do accept that I should never sell the Bitcoin. Eventually, rich people. What did Michael Saylor say? He said rich people have store of value, buildings, and fine art. The middle class stores their value in the S&P 500 and gets 7% a year, which is equal to inflation, and they break even. I don't want to hear any complaints about the CPI. I don't give a shit what the government says the inflation rate is. The inflation rate has been basically 7 to 10% for the last 100 years, and the reason why it's probably 10% and it only looks like 7% is because technology is naturally deflationary. So there should be about a 3% deflation rate if the government wasn't printing money. So not only do we not have the 3% deflation rate that we should all be enjoying, eggs should be freaking 3% more cheaper this year than they were last year, not 15, 20% more. But so inflation is really probably 10% in order to make it look like it's only 7%. And of course, the government manipulates that and says that 7 is 2 or whatever. I don't know, kind of happy horse shit they got going on over there. But it's all a damn lie. This says up 12% from last week, but it's from the start of the challenge, the 5K challenge. You know, what would 1% would be $50, so it's up 5%. Hell yeah, I'll take 5%, and can't wait to see how the rest of this performs. It's funny because MicroStrategy is up $30. The Hut shares, all of this profit came from the Hut. Looks like it came from the Hut earnings, which is hilarious because my RIOT shares are down $2. My Mara shares are still down $60. But oh damn, my CLSK is down $200. Anyway, once I put these into the spreadsheet, everything that I bought and sold this week, it'll show me new cost basis numbers for these. So these are just ballpark. These are not how I figure my cost basis. But that's an update on the challenge. And where I was going with that with the Bitcoin is like, when is it going to do me some good? Because if I never sell it, that means there has to be some kind of sophisticated financial machinery that will allow me to borrow against it or loan it out and get a return. I mean, and all of those vehicles have been risky as shit. So there needs to be somebody that's like reputable. And when I legit do retire and I don't want to be even selling covered calls against my assets anymore because I just want to whatever. I don't know what I'm going to want to do when I'm old as shit. But if I ever decide that I don't want to do this, then I'm going to need to do what the rich people do, which is take loans out against their valuable property. And Bitcoin is going to be the most valuable property on the planet. And it's a golden opportunity actually for the lower class, the middle class, the upper class that's not as rich as the richy riches, to actually get a piece of the best digital property. Like only super rich people could buy buildings in LA and New York City. Only super rich people could buy the Mona Lisa. You can't, if you have $100, you can't buy, this is what he said in one of the meetings, you can't buy like a little square millimeter of the Mona Lisa, but you can, if you've got $100, you can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, and then in 10 years, maybe it's worth 1,000, or it's definitely not going to keep pace with inflation, and it actually should exceed inflation, unlike the S&P and all of these, and real estate and all these other damn things that either, cost a management fee or, getting real estate and renting, and you have to deal with calls and people not paying on time and all. I did that for a couple of years and it sucked. Even renting to a friend kind of blew up in my face. That didn't work out very well, and it didn't work out very well with strangers either. So screw that. I will never own an extra piece of real estate that I don't personally enjoy. I'm not renting it out for shit. I mean, I guess if I had something that I only used half the year, I could Airbnb it potentially because I want it for my personal use. Anyway. All right. So my rant about Bitcoin is like, when is it going to improve my life? When is it just going to be something more than just sitting in cold storage, waiting to, just waiting to bust free? Like, when does it improve my life other than unimprove my life because I'm scrimping and saving and trying to not, I'm trying to stay within a budget so that I can stack sats. So I'm sacrificing. I'm doing the low time preference thing. I'm sacrificing for a future time so that I can enjoy it later. But how long is it going to take? like, I don't necessarily need a Lambo, but I wouldn't mind a nice house in a hot part of the world with fruit trees in my yard and chickens scratching in the dirt and a Cybertruck. that's what I want. So, yeah, and the kind of the joke I put at the end of the post from this morning was, when am I going to get my 2 marshmallows? Because that was the study that they did. They told these kids, you can have 1 marshmallow now or 2 marshmallows later, and all the kids that took the 2 marshmallows were more successful in life. And they call it having low time preference, meaning high time preference people want it now. They don't want to wait. They have no time to wait for something in the future that might grow, that might improve, that might get better. They have poor outlooks. They're probably in front of 7-Eleven, as an adult, scratching off lottery tickets and shit until they have no money left. It doesn't have to be that extreme, but I do see them out there in the parking lot. So the low time preference people, kids would be like, nah, I'll wait. I want 2 marshmallows instead of 1, and I'll wait 5, 10, 15 minutes for it, whatever the study said. So that's what I want to know. When do I get my damn 2 marshmallows? Because I'm tired of stacking sats for nothing. And yes, I'm a maxi, and I think it's going to solve half the world's problems. Bitcoin fixes everything. Yes, of course, I'm a believer, all of that jazz. However, I want my 2 marshmallows. All right, be good, y'all.